Shit talking is my life source energy. Yep. Shit talking is literally how I stay alive. For sure. With myself, even when nobody else is around, I'm a shit talking motherfucker. I think I'm not funny. I like myself. I find the humor in myself. Like, I think I'm funny. Okay. Now, I want to set something clear on my messages, because I come across as very assertive and probably aggressive. But ultimately, when this is the message that I'm putting, like, this is like, it's not the aggression, but like, it's something that I'm learning behind it that I'm passionate about. Like, that it's just a passion for learning and a passion for teaching what I'm learning, because that's how we learn, is to teach what we're learning, because that's implementing what we are learning, is to teach it, right? To lead by the example of it. Now, for me, I say a lot of shit, but when it comes down to it, I'm not aggressive at all. To the, like, I don't even, I'm not vengeful. I'm not resentful. However, that does not mean that that ability does not exist within me. Nor does it mean that I will not honor that ability should it need to be honored, right? But I wouldn't wish harm on my enemies. As a matter of fact, if my enemy was in a hardship and in a hard time, I'd probably be that person that helps them. Truly. Probably, Misty, that's a lie. I would be that person that would help them. And I wouldn't hold it against them. I wouldn't expect anything from them. I wouldn't, because why? Because I have everything I need. Why do I expect anything? I'm giving myself what I need by fulfilling another's need. You know, like, that's destiny in action, is fulfilling your needs and fulfilling the needs of others. When you're completely fulfilled, you're naturally like an exquisite dish that feeds even the most deficient of appetites, you know, and nutrient deficients in the body. I've earned my right to talk shit. I've been through hell and back. And my story is that it's hell and back, right? And I can't make it something other than it is. I can't add dragonflies and rainbows and doodads and whip whoppers and part of my story, right, that doesn't exist in, right? But I'm also not going to sit here and withhold any other part of myself because I have this part of myself, right? I'm not going to discredit any other part of myself just to maintain that part of myself. Like, it's a holy paradox we live in. A holy paradox. I had a great epiphany this morning. Like, I don't know if anybody else has ever experienced this, but I have experienced where somebody makes an offer that they don't really, because they don't know what could happen. They don't like, and it, like, because of, I can deeply appreciate, value, and respect something for what it brings to the table and not like parts of it, right? And I'm not going to devalue any of the parts of it that I like, I respect, I value, because it has parts that I don't like. That's ridiculous. I work with those parts that I don't like, right? I've had people make me offers on the parts of me that they do like, right? But the second that a part of me shows up that they don't like, which is usually the part of me that's not going to comply with something that they're asking me to do or telling me to do or saying that I've said, like accusing me of something, right? Taking me out of context and I need to defend myself, right? I've had them offer me things and not believe in what they're offering me, right? they'll say, well, I want to make sure it's going to work out before we do this, right? I want to make sure that you will do this, this, and this before I do this, this, and this. Okay, well, I want to make sure all of that's going to work out before I even accept the offer. How about that? Before I even engage. That's how ridiculous that sounds. I'm going to need to see all that take place and all of this happen, right? All of this be what it is before I actually invest in that offer. I want to make sure your doubt's going to be all sorted out before I go in there. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. See, if you didn't come up to me like that, right, I wouldn't have to, I don't know, reject the offer? Was it even an offer to reject? Like, is that an offer? What are you offering exactly? Emotional hardship, mental anguish, right? And physical decline of well, energy, motivation. I confront things head on, but I'm also the person that would give somebody my last dollar. Like, I can be both of those people. And I act accordingly to the moment. I'm not going to act like the person that's going to give you my last dollar in the moment where you don't even need it, but you're demanding it from me, right? It's not even a need for you, but you're demanding it from me. You're demanding something that is unnecessary, right? These are, well, superficial things, man. We are in a superficial world, and I am a spiritual girl. The moon was talking about the blessings hidden in darkness last night. And as I stood in the yard and looked up at the moon, I thanked it for everything that I can't see. Not for the things that I can see or I can have or that I know, but for all the things that I don't see. Because what I do see is hardship. What I do see, because our human minds naturally look for the negative in everything. We got to train ourselves to look for the positive, to look for it, right? We got to train ourselves to be in that mindset where we can experience the whole of ourselves, the parts of ourselves that we like, the parts of ourselves that we don't like, in this state of compassion and forgiveness. Does that mean that we stay being the same parts of ourselves that we don't like? No, it doesn't. It means we study them and we learn from them. They'll always be there. Every moment will offer you another opportunity to grow your intelligence. Every time. And then on the flip side of that, I just want to talk about this too, on the flip side of that, because I'm working out my manifestations, right? I've got to look at what is manifesting in order to add to it, right? To change it. On the other side of this coin, I have this all-in category, right? And it's like people do not actually go all in. If they're attached to their past or if they are still emotionally pouring into others, right? Like, they're not really present for that fake whole offer either, are they? No, they're not. Huh. I thought to myself, because I heard somebody say about their ex, I accept that loss. I'm like, no, you don't. If you accepted it, you wouldn't see it as a loss. It's a fucking gain. It's a fucking gain, man. I mean, I've lost a lot of physical things in a loss of a relationship, right? And the loss of a non-physical thing. I mean, I lost a lot in that, right? It wasn't really a loss either, because all of that was like tools of enslavement. It was rewards for being complacent, right? For being numbed out and like gone. But the release of the ex, right? The non-physical, the emotional bond, right? That's not a loss. That's a gain. That's a whole ass gain. Like, that's a whole ass gain mentally, emotionally, physically. Anybody that sits there and says, I accepted my loss when it comes to a person that they have broke up with or that has broke up with them has not accepted any fucking thing. Not even the fucking tear in their goddamn eye for their part that they played. All they're playing in their mind is the other person's, what they did, what they've said, what happened there. They're not actually playing the part in that, their part, right? Which actually takes away the other person's experience, because they are who that other person is experiencing, right? So when they remove their part of the story, they're playing victim, one. And two, they're removing half the truth, which means they're living a whole ass lie, illusion. Oh, hell no, Satan. Never in my life have I said I accept this loss. When I am leaving something, getting broke up with, what the flying fuck, I'm like, celebrate. This is a gain. You know, like, whoop, whoop, whistles and doodads, bitches. Yeah, it might be sad for a moment. That's okay. That'll pass. I'm not going to mentally attach to my sadness and use that, my own emotions, right? My own emotions, which are built from a fear and a doubt of myself, to lead me. That would be being ran by the phantoms of my mind, because the thought built that emotion. The emotion didn't trigger thoughts, right? See, most people will block their thoughts that are triggered by emotions through doubt, through fear, through inertia, through fear of loss. That's that reassurance clause. Well, once you trust yourself to not have all these reassurances, then I'm going to invest in you. Until then, fuck off. The Sagittarian moon talks about drive, right? Talks about that motivation, that inspiration, right? Inspiration, that natural chemical reaction that takes place when you see someone and you relate to what they're saying and you are inspired by the passion of themselves, and you take that light and you bring it into yourself, and it's applied to your path, right? That light is no longer that light. That light has been photosynthesized, is now it's in your own way. And I have had somebody say, well, they say something to me, and then my reaction, right? Like, well, it's like, and the same thing, return sender, right? It's a misunderstanding. Well, we need to have a place for that misunderstanding. We need to have a place for that misunderstanding, right? Last night, somebody asked me a specific question and I gave them a specific answer, and they felt like I was blaming them for something else. And I was like, wait a minute. No. I made that decision for myself. You don't have any power there. I don't put my power to make decisions in other people's fucking hands. Like, so I don't know how you would even get that from this. No. That's an internal thing. You've said something or you've done something where you feel related to that situation and accountable. And the second that you feel accountable in any way, shape, or form, and you didn't step into that role when you felt it, I didn't feel that. I wasn't you in that moment. You're gonna feel blame. Oh shit. Yeah. Well, I don't do blame games because that's related to the shame games, which is related to the non-accountability games and the no responsibility games. And that to me is false leadership. That to me says I'm a coward. That to me says I don't care. People can say they care about you all day long, but if they're not paying attention to you, what's going on in your life, right? What's going on deeply with you emotionally and mentally and financially, and not actually giving a flying fuck, right? They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. And these are the very same people I help. These are the very same people that I give my time to, even when I don't have time to myself. Why? Because who am I to restrict the acts of love that are flowing through me? I, with God, will feel the rejection of God, right? And I'm not going to take that personally. I'm not going to take that personally. That is what I'm learning now, is to not take the rejection of God and the rejection of universal love personally. And I think that's what the angels were saying to Enoch too when he was passing through something, when he was passing through the tree, when he was passing through Angelarium. Dreams are not fantasies, folks. Dreams are things that move you, that move others, that move nations, that move communities. These are dreams. They're not selfish. Dream big does not mean dream in a selfish way. Dream big means dream in global, like dream universally, dream humanity wise, dream worldly, right? Like, he told me this world is a play to win world, Missy. You're always going to be financially broken, struggling when you're not playing to win. I was like, you do understand that that's a masculine trait that you're sizing me up to, right? And I'm not a masculine. And I'm trying to come out of my masculine, right? And at the same time being well, accountable to my masculine when it doesn't, because I'm being forced into it, right? Because of outside threats, right? Like, it's the demand. It's like the feminine is the passive energy. It's passive, right? Emotions are passive. There's no action that comes from emotions, right? The action comes from either the compassion you hold your emotions in, or the resentment, the retaliation, the bitterness, the fear, the doubt, the judgment, the shame, the blame, the guilt, the pity. And then you build emotions from those things, which are false emotions. Just like, man. For me, abundance is clarity. You know, I'm fucking tired of being sized up to masculine traits as a woman, as a feminine being. I'm tired of being sized up to masculine traits. Like, and then when I come into my masculine, because I have to, in order to survive, to have a roof over my head, to have food in my belly, to have my bills paid, it's like, I'm shamed, I'm blamed, and I'm considered not worthy. No matter which way I go, right? In the outside world, I'm unworthy. Unless I am doing something that kills my spirit and goes against my God's will. I'd rather die. Seriously. It's a will issue. Like, that's a moral issue. I will take a samurai's death. Like, in an instant. I think the part of me that gives to those, like, that would never even wish harm on my enemies is that mother part of me. You know, like where you give your children the space to make the mistake, right? To hurt themselves, but to also learn from it. But you also give them you don't just tell them what they're doing or why they're doing, like, you give them all the information they need to make those decisions for themselves. You don't just tell them to do shit or not to do shit. You give them all the information, whether they're going to make sense of it or not, whether it's going to hurt their fucking feelings. If they think they're big enough to actually try something, you need to give them all the information that they need to try that situation and let them figure it out. Absolutely. I don't want my kids, I'm not training my kids to withhold information from me. So when it comes to my adult relationships, I feel like most people are big ass children. They do not listen to the information they're being provided because they want to get what they want, and they will throw a fit and retaliate and make you feel like shit until they get their way. And they will play victim to the higher mentality. They will always play victim to a higher mentality. They will always play victim to the person that has the information they need, right? Because fulfilling your needs as much as you want your needs fulfilled is actually a very painful process. It's a process of growth and development. The things we are called into are usually the things we run from. We need to understand the difference between the expectations and standards. The standard I've set for myself is my law, and you are expected to uphold that. And you're also expected to witness this standard through witnessing all the information, because if you care, that's what you care about, is that information. Not about this physical apparatus or what you can get from this physical apparatus, but the experience you have when you go into it. Amen. Sit there and thought to myself, man, I don't share ideas that I don't believe in, right? Because then what if somebody else believes in that idea that I just shared? What if somebody else believes in that idea that I just shared and I don't believe in it, and I was the creator of it? It was mine, right? And I don't believe in it, but they believe in it. I just misled them into a false belief, right? That idea should not be shared unless it is believed in, because that's the laws of manifestation. This is going against the laws of manifestation while saying, I want to work organically, or I want to go about this naturally. Most of us are not naturally doing shit. We are trying to control and dictate and that's not directing things. Directing things takes all the notes in the music and directs it. Controlling things just picks and parts the notes that it likes and makes its own shit with it. Yeah, you better stop that. Full moon energy. Detach. Heart chakra. Oh, so this is where the feminine energy, right, is blocked by a mental attachment, right? Which would be a physical thing too, right? If it's a mental thing, it's going to be a physical thing. There is a physical pattern behavior, right? Or mental thought that creates this, whether you're aware of it or not, a belief. We're going to call it a belief. We're going to call it a belief that has blocked you from the experience. And you're being called to detach yourself from this. I can't experience love, right, if I block my ability to experience it. Like, for instance, helping my enemies. Not by not wishing them any harm on them. And in like, because my enemy is the underdeveloped mind, so it doesn't know any better, right? And in order for me to provide this unconditional love, I have to detach my personal experience from it, right? Like, I have to allow myself to feel that breaking heart, that betrayal with God, right? The rejection with God, without retaliation, without vengeance, without... I feel sad, I feel grief, but I'm not going to act from those places, right? Because it's not really a loss, it's a gain, right? It's a gain. It's a gain. There's sadness and grief is not always equal loss. It is not equivalent to loss. Sadness and grief can also mean growth. It can mean gains. It can mean protection, right? That's that motherly energy that protects too. Damn, this heart chakra. It's detaching from the rewards of the enslavement of itself. Like it's detaching. So these mental and these physical things, right? Behaviors, patterns, beliefs, all of this stuff that is preventing the flow of oneself is removed. Detach. This is where you're not emotionally or mentally attached to things. You flow through them. You flow through them. You flow through them. Just like they flow through you. It's a spiritual flow, right? It's ebb and flow. It's the current. It's the current of Christ. That's the fish. I just seen a fish. That's what I got. I said current and then I seen a fish. And I was like, that's Christ. That was funny. And I'm still... the fish. This is big. Because the fish that came to me was wisdom, like salmon, right? Like, and if you think of the Page of Cups, which is this new emotional restart or this new emotional, like, idea, this beginning, this offer, this apology, whatever this is, it's the Page of Cups, right? Because inside the Page of Cups is a little fish in the wine glass talking to the page. It's in the wine. It's in the blood. The wisdom's in the blood. It's in the blood. It's in the experience. It's in the DNA. It's in the mitochondria within the DNA. That's something that can't be cloned. True light can't be cloned. We can, like, our physical bodies can be cloned, like our cells can be cloned. This can't be cloned. Which means this isn't a mirrored experience. Like, this isn't a rough, like, where you mimic an experience, right? Because you have an idea that you don't believe in. So you mimic an experience to see what you can get out of it, right? You do realize that you're not going to get a genuine experience from that, right? It's like you're not going to get a plant from something you don't water, something you don't nurture. Like, this is moving you. Whatever the information is that's coming through your emotions or through emotions, yours or someone else's, that's opening your own that you've been denying, right? It's like, this information, it moves you. And this is where you can feel blame or shame, or you can feel accountability and responsibility and do the right thing, right? This is an opportunity to do the thing that you haven't done that you should be doing, right? Like, it's like a reminder. Like, you hit the alarm clock, right? You hit the snooze button on the alarm clock and it's going off again. And you want to pretend like this isn't an alarm going off, right? Like, you can just silence this shit. No, you can't. You can't. This is big. well-deserved reward. It's hard-earned, right? Remember what I said? This is not a loss. This is a well-deserved gain. Yeah, it come from a lot of effort. You got to release control, right? Do you guys hear this crow right now? Look at this. That ego, win or lose. You're doing like the winning and the losing. Detaching from the ego, right? And where you've been edging God out. Like, I'm going to do this, right? Because God is asking me to deliver a message to my enemies. Thank you, God. And that message is usually through acts of kindness that even I can't comprehend, right? I'm not going to stop being kind, truly kind, in a world made of false kindness. Like, I'm just not going to do it. So say God calls me to do this, deliver this message. They don't want to hear this. And God knows they don't want to hear it, but he's going to give them the opportunity to hear it anyway. Give them the opportunity to experience, to feel it, to know it every time, right? And when you didn't listen the first time, you've definitely getting me the second time. Hello, what's up? Yeah, the shit talker, the instigator, the toxic trauma bond. Hello, it's me, what's up? Trauma bonding is the compliance to doubt and fear in each other and self, right? The compliance to building relationships based on the doubt and false hope. Like, well, I was going to do this and I was going to do that. I was going to offer you the world. Going to. You either are or not. You either are, I am, or I am not. The fuck you going to do? You ain't gonna do shit. You know how many people stay in long-term jobs waiting for that, or long-term careers waiting for that, even in relationships too, but that moment to come where they see your worth and you get that raise, and because you can see yourself in that position, and people have moved to that position, so the opportunity is definitely there. You know how long people enslave themselves into positions that they're never going to grow out of for 25 cents every fucking 3 months? 50 cents every 3 months. Oh, let's give them $1.50 raise this time, right? Like, the cost of living went up at least $3 an hour since last quarter, okay? We're going to need to see a little more initiative from our employers. You're creating a toxic relationship with my cost of living here, okay? Because what happens when things aren't meeting the needs, fulfilling the needs? Well, naturally, you're going to detach from that and get your needs fulfilled, met, right? Right. See, me, I'm that person I'll tell you to your face. I told my boss to his face. I applied for another job. I'm interviewing for another job. Why? Well, because y'all don't pay me enough, and you lied on your ad. That's why. Well, still having a smile on my face, still coming to work, and they retaliated against me. They lied on me. They wrote me up for false lies, right? And then my boss come back from his little vacation or whatever he went on for out of town. And guess what? That write-up that they tried to write me up for was gone. Why? Because it was all fucking false, and I actually had 3 other coworkers come in and fucking testify on my behalf without me even fucking knowing about it. I didn't even know that I had testimony. It was fantastic. But then after that, It's like little things to nitpick me, to like pulling me out of lane and talking about pants that I've wore since I started working for the company. What are you talking about, Willis? I wear these every day. Every fucking day, and not one time has anybody ever said anything to me until I fucking refused to sign a fucking write-up that was built on fucking lies. Seems like we have some fucking retaliation going on in the workplace. This is also in relationships, and guess what we do with that, folks? Well, I'll tell you what I'm doing with it. I'm detaching from it. We can't, like, I use my own real experience when I'm trying to share these fucking messages, because there's hardship you have to face in it, right? I told you that. There is sadness, there is pain, there is grief, there's loss, but it's not a loss, right? It's a gain, right? This is something it creates space. It creates space. Like, this is an investment. Do you consider your investments losses? Like, I'm going to give this in order to receive this, right? Like, these aren't of equal value. I'm giving away the shit that isn't good for me in order to receive the shit is good for me, right? So you feel like I'm giving bad things away. No, you're giving something that's good for somebody else, right? It's literally a movement, like, of seeds. Spread the seed far and wide, baby. Spread them far and wide. Well-deserved reward from this. And I get in the spread of the seed far and wide because I have this bird right here that's leaving her hand. And I feel like it's the message that's moving through something, right? Like, it's moving through you, moving through them, moving through this person, moving through that person. Like, don't get stuck on the messenger. Yeah, even if that messenger is me, bitch, don't do dare detach your fucking self to me. That's a death wish all in itself. Don't do that. We don't want none of that, because that's control we ain't looking for with the ego, okay? No. See, the ego will always exist because it's the recognition, right, of the place of the absence of God, right? Because you can step into that and become a victim, right, of self, which is into the ego, which is edging God out. Or you can witness where God is edged out and expand the space in which God exists. You know what I'm saying? Like, the same thing with wisdom and pain, like all that. You know, this is an investment of thyself. Hashtag winning department just checked in. Detach. We reflect, we accept, we decide with clarity, responsibility, and fairness. So if anybody's ever accepted something, they're not going to see it as loss. They're going to see it as an investment, which is ultimately a what? A gain. If they see it as a loss, oh, you better believe they are still wishing it different. That makes me sick to my fucking stomach. Like, sick to my fucking stomach. Which means they don't trust their own decisions. And how the fuck am I supposed to let a man lead me that doesn't trust his own decisions? How am I supposed to let a woman lead me that doesn't trust her own decisions? Right? We're leading each other if we're having a relationship. And I'm leading you by sharing my real experience with you, for better or for worse, till death do us part, right? I'm misleading you if I'm pretending to be something other than I am at any given moment, at any given time, at any given place, right? I'm misleading myself and misleading you. It's deceiving. It's deception. It's unrealistic, fantasized bullshit fuckery. No thank you. I like the shit that brings me to life. Call me toxic, eh? I'm your toxic trauma bond over here. Sign me up for the next fucking mistake. Why? Because I know I'm going to gain a whole lot of wisdom from that bitch, and I ain't afraid of shit. brave and stupid can look quite the same. Like, it takes a brave thing to deliver the message of love through a courageous act in front of your enemy or to your enemy, right? It's courageous. Yeah, courage can look pretty insane. Detach emotionally from this relationship, this situation, so you can take a step back and reevaluate. This is where you can thank the moon for all that was hidden, right? Because you can witness it now, not necessarily with your goddamn eyes, but you witnessing it with everything else. Everything else. See, the logic relies on limited vision, which is what it can make sense of, what it can see, what it can prove, evidence, very calculating, actually. So if you've been calculating, you've been in your ego, whether you want to admit to it or not. You've been edging God out. See, I've been told I'm in my ego when I'm fucking passionately personifying Christ himself through me. And I'm like, yeah, I'm destroying egos. That's the only thing I'm is in the destruction of the ego. And then they say it's a spiritually blinded ego. Okay, bitch. No, I know when my ego activates. It's when I'm trying to win. Because you've insulted me, and now I'm gonna make sure you feel that. Right? Like, that's a retaliation. That's when I'm in my ego. And I know when I'm doing that. I intentionally fucking do it. Like, it's not an unintentional thing. It's a fully intentional fucking thing, because that's that fine line, right, of that masculinity, that because I'm feminine, right, and I'm learning, I'm gonna make some mistakes in here of which one's what, right? Yep. It's part of learning, right? It's part of the pain and part of the suffering and part of all the nonsense that we don't want to fucking admit to. Ugh. Is this relationship fulfilling, satisfying? Not pleasurable, because Lord knows that nothing is truly actually pleasurable, right? Like, unless you're in having pleasure from a genuine experience. Because my pleasure, regardless of the experience, comes from a real experience, right? Which is usually in myself. Yeah, pleasure of self, right? So this is very fulfilling. Your needs are being met, right? And what role do you play in its harmony or disharmony? I'm not misleading myself for you. I'm not playing that role for you. Hell to the no, Satan. Right? A very honest appraisal is required in order to gain clarity that'll help you better understand what might need to be done to improve it. It is true even if a relationship is already a good one. Yeah, just keep getting better, right? Just because you have a good relationship doesn't mean you don't have things in it that show up that you don't like, that you need to address, concerns that arise at any given moment in time. We're just going to go around pretending and then be disappointed when we find out all the shit that we didn't know. Well, excuse me? All of this is not something that was in the future. All of this was something that was in the present moment that was withheld from me, which means I was robbed of my present moment. I was robbed. Listen, and I'm going to find where I helped you rob me. I'm going to find that hole in my fence. Oh, damn, I told you I was going to get stronger, and I told you I was going to get bigger, and I told you I was going to get brighter, and I told you I was definitely going to get smarter. And I didn't depend on you believing me, because I already have enough belief for all of us. Told ya. Checkmate. It's important to accept our own previous actions, decisions, and beliefs. I don't regret any decision I've made that has cost me physical things, all these physical rewards, and all this loving affection that was covering up lies and deception. which was killing me inside, like literally killing me mentally and emotionally, literally killing me. I didn't want to live. I wanted to fucking die. And I did. I committed suicide. You don't have to do that. That's why I'm back, is to show you how to mentally and emotionally detach without physically harming yourself. Without physically harming yourself. Oh, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to have physical loss, right? That's emotional pain that you're going to allow yourself to feel with compassion and get stronger from it. We do still steer the course of our lives. Most of us without conscious intention. And this is where that shifts. You're not doing it from a place of spiritual consciousness or from consciousness. You're doing it from a place of logic, from a place of reasoning, from a place of limited information that meets an outcome, that meets an agenda, that meets a narrative that is coming from the base of the doubt in oneself, inside and outside. And we wonder why we're not fulfilling our needs and meeting the needs of others and fulfilling our destinies, which is fulfilling our needs, feeling satisfied in the fulfilling of needs, which are not always pretty, by the way, because you're learning from dislikes. You're not avoiding them. You're not running from them. You're not hiding them. You're not pretending like they're not there. You're not in denial with a plank in your eye, fucking lying to yourself. You're wide open, okay? Oh, once you've detached yourself from and examined this relationship, lack of relationship, this, which is trust. Examine the trust or lack of trust, right? I can only do this if I'm willing to look at it, right? Am I right? When you do this, in the matter of the heart, you're in a better position to make a decision for the next step. Remember, the detached card knows no ego. I make my decisions based on direct experience, not the reasoning of the experience, not the logic of the experience, not the limited version of the experience, the actual experience, not what I want to hear, right? But what I'm actually hearing. Like for instance, I listened to somebody talk about their ex, right? But they're not accepting the growth that comes from this, because when they're reflecting, they're only reflecting the other person. They're not even reflecting what they're doing that causes this, right? Or vice versa. They're only reflecting in a half truth. They play victim, right? And they say, I accept my loss. No, you don't, because you're not even honoring your own decisions. It's not a loss, it's an investment to yourself. Decisions will arrive as a result of drawing this card, and it's going to be fair and balanced for everyone. Does that mean you're going to like it? Yeah, most kids don't like it when mom comes in and makes the fucking ultimate decision, right? Because she has all the information and the ability to understand it to do so, right? She's not relying on her kids to trust her, to have this ability to act, because they don't trust her. They never will trust her. They are the enemy at this point, right? It's the same in our relationships with people. Come on now. Come on now. It's got to be fair for everyone involved. Do you think it's fair to tell your kids, go do this? And they say, but why? And you say, because you do what you're told. Do you think that that's actually fair? Do you know that caused rebellion in me as a kid? I don't do what I'm told just because I'm told to do it. I'm here to learn, which means you are either going to inform me because you have that information and give me what fulfills my needs, right? To provide what you're asking me to do. Or I'm going to figure it out for myself. 100%, because that's an adaptation. That's the ability to survive in the least likely places, right? Yeah, in the most inhospitable places, actually. In the enemy's camp, actually. I went to hell in a handbasket and he sent me back with flowers. Oh no, she's turning everything to gold down here. She's gotta go. All the dark and gloom's going away, and I don't know how to live without my dark and gloom. It's not going away. It's just being set in a balance. There's going to be a time for darkness and a time for light. And both of those are going to thrive equally and without measure. What will not exist is the evil that is created in the division of self. Why? Because creation is taking accountability for itself. That's why. Instead of blame of itself, shame of itself, guilt and pity and blah, 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 blah. Oh, I'm a victim, a circle, blah, 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 blah. I can talk about hardships without being a victim, right? There are victims of their hardships, and then there are student warriors of their hardships, right? You better learn the difference. Real quick, honey, real quick. Well, I think you thrive in hardships if you don't ever get out of hardship. You don't know that. Everybody is given their own little life things to go through, right? And me personally, I don't manipulate, so I don't take shortcuts. And last time I checked Rome in the kingdom of God didn't even build the earth and create this in overnight. It was in 7 days, bitch. That's in God's time. It's in God's time. Not your time, not my time, not their time, not his time, not her time, not their time. God's divine time, which is non-linear, right? It's non-linear. It's non-linear. This is well-deserved reward. Divine timing. Holy shit. I feel like I want to puke right now. I really feel like I'm going to puke. What cards are these? Minor Arcana. Disciplined, gracious, compassion, and true satisfaction. Didn't we just talk about that? So I can't be satisfied if I'm pretending to be satisfied, right? I can't be satisfied if I'm not sharing the leadership and the trust in myself. Like, there is no satisfaction that comes from that. There's no satisfaction that comes from somebody trying to get me to doubt myself in order for them to have control, right? With their ego over here, winning, to win. That's not love. Winning doesn't exist in love. It just is what it is. When this card appears, it suggests that you've been seen. Ha! You've been witnessed. Oh. Spirit, you see me? I see you. You see me? I see you. I don't see you with my eyes, but I see you. I see you. I feel you. Whew. Everything will soon just be falling into place. It just is. It hasn't always been easy. You've had the discipline to preserve. As you work to create fulfilling relationships, you sometimes had to give more than you would have liked, but you've seen the positive result as the action. You mean I had to show love to my enemies? I didn't have to. I chose to. That was a service of God. And it's not easy. You kept the ultimate goal in mind, which was this big dream big, which is awakening the hearts of mankind, the body mind. Be proud of yourself. You've shown that you are self-resilient, you're self-reliant, and you are truly confident. You're entering a phase of your life where your blessings will be effortless. Where your life and your dealings with others will become effortless. Be considerate and compassionate in your interactions. There is less need for confrontation now. Diplomacy is the better approach. If I come to you in diplomacy and you don't witness my diplomacy and you witness it as a challenge, I won't exist in your world. Because I've addressed concerns, right, with diplomacy, with calmness, and I am retaliated on, and I'm told I'm psychotic, and I'm told I'm this, and I'm told I'm that. I won't participate in that. I will not participate in any form of kind or bullying, intimidation tactics that get me to doubt myself for somebody else's benefit. No, I'm going to walk into the enemy's camp without all that nonsense. Absolutely without all that nonsense. I don't need any of that. That's false protection. That's false confidence. That's false light. That's false security. That's false trust. That's false everything. That's not a relationship I'm looking to have with myself, inside or out. Amen. Hallelujah. Expect to feel satisfaction in this accomplishment. Amen. Yes! Especially regarding love and in many of aspects of life. You're being blessed for your hard work. You can't see it right now, right? This is why I said think the unseen. Think the moon for what you cannot see. Because there's blessings right now that you can't see. But you gonna invest your belief in it anyway, right? Your trust, and that's what you're focusing on. I can't teach you how to see the blessings without teaching you what is blocking you from your blessings, right? So, call me the needs discovery department. Call me the needs discovery department, okay? The initial opportunity to connect with God and your higher self, right? It's an opportunity to connect with God. And the only way to do that, we all know, is through Christ, which is that consciousness, which is pure. It's untainted by the doubt of self. Like doubt doesn't exist there. And where it tries to come in, I'm like, I'm finding my role in this discombobulation, this fucking disembodiment, I'm finding my role in this infiltration, because the moment I find my role in it, your role don't exist. Amen. Hallelujah, baby Jesus. Cutting it out. I want to look at this control card. I've never seen it before. It's really interesting. It's like mental mind control kind of thing. Master. Accept. Confidence. Compassion. In order to truly flourish, relationships must be fluid and free rather than overly rigid and controlled by emotional neediness and absolute insecurities. I'm going to offer you what I think could be, but I'm not actually going to give it to you until you prove your worth to me. I don't see what the... If you don't see my worth, you'll never see it. Okay? Because you don't care to. You care to have something proven to you. You don't care to experience it and let that be the proof. Right? Because you're not going to build anything from a base of doubt like that. You will never get anything beautiful from that. You're going to get a lot of nightmares from that. My response to that is... when you believe in that, right? When that's not just a fantasy, like an idea with no emotional investment in it, right? Come talk to me about it, right? With intention, like true intention. Until then, do not involve me with your psychological war. I am not participating in that. This is where I will remove myself from this imbalance, this disharmony, right? You're not in harmony with yourself because you don't even believe in your own imagings, right? You don't even believe in your own experience. And you want me to believe in you? You want me to lead you. You don't even lead yourself, and you want me to let you lead me. No. You don't believe in yourself, and you want me to let you lead me? Please, baby. No, honey. No. Because the second that something comes up for accountability and responsibility, there will be blame, shame, and retaliation. Because you'll play victim of pain and suffering that you've caused instead of addressing pain and suffering you've caused and creating a solution to the problem that exists. Because the solution, believe it or not, is in the problem that is created. But you will never have the solution if you're not willing to look at the problem. Me, I know what the problem is. And I know I'm not going to have the solution because I'm not willing to compromise my spirit to have it. For me, financial issues, always. Since I got married and got divorced because I made decisions to let a man lead me that lied to me. And then I continue to do it in my dating life because that's all exists right now. Anyways, it's like, he said you've got to play to win. He said you got to play to win. You got to play to win. I said, no, I don't. No, I don't. No, I fucking don't. No, I fucking don't. If that's what it takes to be financially well off, I'm not about that life. I'm not about that life. I'd rather be fulfilling and satisfied and maybe go through the dissatisfaction and the losses to get there. Like, I'm willing to do whatever it takes, right? That win and fucking lose card. No, I'm not going to become the product of the environment. I am not going to turn into the environment in order to survive in the environment. I am the difference in the environment that changes the environment, much like a tree producing oxygen. Test a bitch today, Satan. A partnership based solely on emotions without the thought and solely on thought without the emotions is out of control. It's out of self-discipline. Self-discipline, which is true self-control, is the key here. You act from a combination of emotion and intellect, and your relationship will thrive and grow. Why? Because you're using all parts of yourself to experience somebody. You're actually going into the experience, right? So you can distinguish the difference between someone who is a victim of their hardship and someone who is a student warrior of hardship. Because there is a big difference. Some of my hardships I choose because it's either choose this hardship or choose lying to myself to receive the blessing, right? No, I'll wait for a true blessing, right? Because this will be well-deserved. I'll wait. Like, I'm in divine time. I'm going to be in the ebb and flow of something, right? I'm going to be in the present moment of something. I'm not going to allow myself to rob myself in my present moment, right? Like, this is where the message, it's coming out, right? It's coming through. And you're literally standing tall in it. You're standing very tall in this message. Your influence is gentle and loving. You do not dominate. Like I said, like, I can be both, right? Right now, like, I'm not going to try and win this argument. You're going to see me how you wish to see me, and I'm not going to try and change your mind, literally, right? Because that would be me taking your reaction to this message to me personally. And I'm not doing it because I know that the spirit of truth is flowing through me, right? And if I take it personally, I'm going to try and reduce that spirit of truth, right? To try and falsely protect you and falsely protect me from the protection of the truth. I've done that before. I can recognize it. I'm not doing it anymore. You do not require a person to conform or mold to your choosing just to make you feel more comfortable. Stop acting in a way that I don't like so I can be comfortable. But me acting this way is what's bringing me alive and protecting me, right? From being a lie, from being something I'm not. This is a reminder to come from a compassion and forgiveness and understanding in yourself rather than the frustration. Now is the time for patience, for steadiness, for clear thinking. You're going to apply these qualities to yourself, right? To your relationship with yourself, which is your trust with yourself and others. If you're involved with a difficult person or difficult situation, try to look through the other person's eyes and experience what his or her heart and soul feels. Don't do that. Don't you fucking do that. Don't you fucking do that at all. Don't you fucking do that at all. That's not your goddamn place. That is God's goddamn place. The only way you will feel the heart of another is to be in the heart of yourself. That is the only way. That is the only way. That's the only way you're going to be able to distinguish the difference between a real emotion and a false emotion. Yeah, it sure is. It sure is. You know, because when you go into the heart and the soul of what others feels, right, they might be feeling the phantoms of their mind. You don't have that ability, right? You can go into your heart and your soul and you can travel through them with the message of yourself. That's how you go through them. Their heart and their soul may be blocked by their fucking mind, by their ego, by their logic, right? You detach from this. Because for so long, I went into somebody else's heart and soul because I could see that in them, right? It doesn't matter what you can see in them. If they are not self-actualizing, you are fantasizing, you are idolizing, you are robbing them of their free will. And you're also future faking the fuck out of yourself. Or past faking the fuck out of yourself, some kind of faking the fuck out of yourself. We don't do that. I'm not doing that. I'm not allowing that. Spirit, we ain't allowing that. We do need to be able to see things from other people's perspective. For me, I will definitely go into you and see you how you're seeing me. If you are seeing me from the doubt of me, you are seeing me from a place of blame, from a place of shame, from a place of pity, from a place of guilt, from a place of this, from a place of that. You are probably my victim. You're playing victim of me. I don't want anybody that's going to be a victim of my emotions. I'm not a victim of my emotions, and you're not going to be a victim of my emotions trying to make me a victim of my emotions. I'm not at spiritual war with myself. I'm at marriage with myself. And yes, there are disagreements in my marriage, but we learn to agree from those disagreements. We learn new ways from those disagreements. We create new ways that uphold the highest good of all. From the differences, from the dislikes, we create new likes. And we certainly don't intentionally go and do those disliking things. I dislike you standing up for yourself. Well, sir, in that case, let me go ahead and recant what I just said and tell you, well, I'm going to go ahead and stand up for myself and do whatever the fuck I'm going to do right here and right fucking now and not give a fuck about what you like, right? Because if I care too much about what you like and I'm not differentiating between your mental likes and your emotional needs, I'm going to become a slave, emotional slave to your mental illnesses. And I'm not doing that. Just like you're an emotional slave to your own mental illnesses. I'm not doing that with you. I'm not going to be a puppet. I'm not going to be a pretender. I'm not going to be a liar. I'm not going to be a fake happy. I'm not going to be a fake sad. I'm not going to be a fake angry. I'm not going to be a fake anything. And I'm not going to get angered over information. What I am going to get angered over is the neglect of information. Yeah. Like bringing up half the truth to support something without seeing the other half of the truth. Only bringing up the part of the truth that makes you look better and makes the other person look bad, which makes you look like a victim more than anything. We can tell when you're only bringing up half truth, especially when We're the other half of the truth that's fucking missing. Hashtag winning department just stepped in. You want a winning department? Be your own person. That's always winning. There is no competition in legend land. With self-discipline comes true confidence. You allow these situations to unfold. You detach yourself from an outcome and you don't try to control it. You hold space for motherfuckers to make decisions for themselves and mistakes. You damn right you do. I'm not going to micromanage, look through your phone, do this and do that, but the moment that I have the feeling that you are hiding shit from me, lying to me, deceiving me, I'm going to trust the fact that you are. And I'm not going to need your reassurance or proof. I'm not going to need evidence to support this. I'm not going to need anything other than my own fucking experience, because there's something that's coming out of your fucking mouth and out of your fucking behaviors that's not aligning with an emotional experience here, a fucking non-physical experience here, which means you're lying. You are deceiving yourself, and me, I'm going to be a byproduct of that deception. Because I can feel myself when I start to deceive myself, right? And I'm only doing that in the presence of others deceiving themselves. And I recognize it. Like, because we do things unknowingly until we become aware of it. This is that part of for better or for worse, right? The end result of this self-discipline and confidence is supreme peace. Take time to examine this discipline or control in its many aspects and how it's affecting your trust, your relationship with yourself. How do you control or direct emotions? Well, you have to uphold them. You have to hold all of them, all of the notes, all the C notes, all of the notes in order to direct them. You have to be able to hear them. You have to be able to be open to witnessing. The music, you don't just hear it, you experience it. It flows through you. Triggers memories. You are the well-deserved reward. Your ability to be who the fuck you are in every sense of the word and loving that rather than feeling shame and blame and guilt and pity. This is the true reward. That's gold. Sovereign divine being. That is a true reward. Wow. Sovereignty. And your free will. Oh my God. This is a will thing. See, I'm okay with ideas shifting. What I'm not okay with is you trying to manipulate my morals so you can have control over here. Not, you don't get to change the will factor. That's the God's voice. The message that moves through me like hot lava. Yeah, this is a sovereign divine being here, okay? Eats ego for breakfast. Literally breakfast of champions. With the transparent beauty. Oh my God, transparency. The soul is on the surface. Divine masculine. The lunar god, sin. New beginnings here. It's time to take action. Well, I'm becoming the masculine. No, you don't want masculine, feminine, but you measure the value of women on masculine traits. Feminine women are exploited for their femininity, right? And then demonized for the very thing that makes them feminine. While the masculine feminines, which are very physically and mentally driven, right? They're praised because they will lie to your face. They will play to win. They will tell you everything you want to hear. They will play victim of you, right? They will play victim of what they've done to you, right? Same thing. Incubuses and succubuses. Bunch of bucking Jezebel spirits. I was compared to a Jezebel spirit, and I was like, I about rolled over in my grave laughing. I was like, motherfucker, you're actually hating me and shaming me and calling me a psychotic because I'm refusing to act in the Jezebel spirit the way that you are wanting me to. You don't want the Jezebel spirit. You don't want what the Jezebel does, the cheating, the lying, the everything, but you do want the compliance that comes with the Jezebel spirit. Well, you're not going to find that in a divine feminine. We're non-compliant. Why? Because divine feminines are warriors. We are students of war. We are students of war. Biological, psychological, and spiritual warfare. We are the students of life, death, and resurrection. Beauty. Nature's beauty. Not logic's beauty, right? Nature. Your logic should be building off the natural beauty, and instead it's building off of the ego, the fantasy of natural beauty. This life is temporary. My spirit is eternal. This moment is temporary. Consciousness that is experienced in every single moment is eternal. And it can't be replicated. Like, clone. Sacred soul sister, the courage of your love. Wow. When you're in your old beliefs, the old consciousness, when you are conscious, the cloud of sadness it surrounds you. When you are beyond this consciousness, the moon, it rests in your arms. Oh my God. All this information, all these blessings, all these gifts that I can't see, that I don't know, that are hidden, they rest in my arms. What? You mean when I believe in my own ideas, they're fruitful? Yeah. I don't go around offering people things I don't fucking believe in. Why the fuck is that? That's poor leadership. That's what the fuck that is. That's a threat to my well-being. That's a fucking threat to my livelihood. That's a fucking threat. Ain't no fucking leader. I'll piss in your shoes. Piss off. And I have peed in somebody's shoes, and I'll do it again. Stay toxic. When you are conscious, the beloved moves out of your reach. And when you are beyond this consciousness, the ecstasy of love, it moves your way. When you are conscious, you are depressed like fall. The winter cold feels like spring when you are beyond consciousness. That's that logic into the absolute consciousness, eternal consciousness. All of your wavering is due to your doubt your longing to be stable. You look for the instability until you become stable. I love you. I am your other half. The part of you you don't see, bitch. I'm with you always. Your partner in this soul journey. I'm the you do not see. I am the you that speaks through intuition, through instinct. I whisper and I sing and I shout my crazy truth-telling to you. Through your dreams, through your body. I am the you that is wise, that trusts in life, that knows. I am the you that sees reality rather than the appearance of something. The reality of it. Yeah. Not the appearance of it. Yeah. So the message and not the delivery of it. Yeah. That one. I am the you that knows how to be free and happy. Happiness is with ourselves. There's a valid point of view that we travel this path of our life journey alone. Our deepest descents into our psyche shall happen alone. We meet death alone. We come into this world alone. And yet there's a vaster perspective that we are actually never alone. Never alone. Not even when you go poo-poo. Okay? It would actually be impossible to really ever be alone. Why? Because we all share this light that it cannot be cloned. Right? But it's also free will initiated. Free will, like the courage of your will to activate this sacred intelligence. Oh, the passion personified. Yeah. Woo! Ric Flair. Woo! Ric Flair. Ric Flair. Ric Flair. Oh my God. As if such a community are not enough, there is a partner, an ally, who journeys with you from birth to death, beyond again and again. You have a sacred sister, a sister of your soul. She weaves the stories of truth through dreams and insights that come up from as if out of nowhere. Perhaps they drop into your mind or seem to erupt from within you, but that is her talking to you, demanding or reassuring. Demanding or reassuring, whatever the moment calls for. I'm not going to reassure you in a place that's calling for me to demand something different from you, okay? I'm not going to reassure you that you're right in a place that you are very much wrong. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna, no, I'm not an abuse enabler, right? So they can stay victims. Yeah, the abuser is always the victim in the situation. Always. Her truths seem overly dramatic, so we discount them as the workings of an overactive imagination. A psycho! She's sweet but a psycho, a little bit psycho. You're going to get left because she's right, though. Okay? She's right, though. All right. Maybe, perhaps her truth tales are so subtle you dismiss them as meaningless, fleeting, and fancy. Oh, well, that's nice of you. The wise ones know, however, that the truth of the sacred soul sister, they're powerful, they're relevant, and they're worthy of time and attention. They know her oftentimes strange and startling offerings, strange and startling truths, right? Hold the keys that unlock our entire world individually. They open up new realities and transform the nature of our existence. Call me the needs assessment department. From the deepest and most esoteric spiritual levels to the most palpable, practical daily applications and realities of our living bodies in this physical world. The courage of your love. You're like a lion. Your sacred soul sister is your partner in consciousness. Make no mistake, she is you. She's the part of you so great you can't always see her from that logic mind. It's sort of like the eye of the dog trying to see its whole self, which is a bit tricky. For when it moves, its tail moves with it. So rather than through direct perception, the sacred soul sister is actually met in that reflection. You remember that reflection when they're reflecting, they're only bringing up, say I'm the person that they're reflecting. They're only bringing up what I've done, what I'm doing, how I acted, blah, 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 blah. They're not bringing up their role in that, which is my experience that caused the reaction, right? The message to come out. Yeah, right. So if you're not seeing me in the direct perception, right, and you're refusing to see me in these reflections, like you're having these moments of reflection, but instead of taking in all the information, you're only focusing on this part, right? Which means we're not growing from that moment, by the way. Which is why most people don't let go of their exes. Like I had a guy come in, I actually put him on my Facebook for the first guy in how many years that I put on my Facebook that I'm dating, right? And within a couple of weeks of us dating, he's spending an hour in the middle of the fucking night on the phone with his ex-girlfriend talking about their kids. You don't call your ex about kids in the middle of the fucking night. Like that doesn't fucking happen, okay? It's not about the kids then. It's about the ex. It's about her. It's about them, right? Yeah, well that's an insecurity that your own insecurity and your inability to direct yourself and have a courage for yourself that you just let in our relationship. And then my reaction to that is toxic. My reaction to that is psychotic. My reaction to that is this, and my reaction to that is this. But what is it that you did, right? That's the part that is not being reflected, right? That's the part that is essential for the difference, for what you want to grow to happen. Instead of the other person changing, it's you that you're looking for to change. What do you want the other person to do? Accept the fucking doubt of themselves through you? That you want them to invest all of their trust and all of their belief and all of themselves into an offer you don't even believe in, which means it doesn't exist. It's a fantasy. It's an illusion. And in the second that I invest all of myself into this illusion, I perish with it. That the moment that your faulty belief system goes with it is the moment that my whole self disappears. Body, mind, and spirit. Now, when I've recognized this, my part that I've played in this disharmony, which is accepting things that need reassurance, need proof, need this, need that. Well, I'm not asking you to do all these things. Why the fuck are you asking me to do all these things? And if I did, which I've done it just to see, if I turn around and I ask you for all these things that you're asking me of, right? And demand all these things that you're demanding me of. Oh, now I'm insecure, I'm hostile, again, psycho, psychotic, crazy, bipolar, I'm this, I'm that, I'm blase, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. That's what children do to their mothers when they don't want to listen for their highest good and they just want to do whatever they want and get whatever they want, even if it's not good for them, because they like it. I will take things I like that aren't good for me, but I am going to shame, blame, criticize, and fucking rebuke things that I don't like that are good for me. That sounds very satisfying and very fulfilling, doesn't it? Is that sarcasm? Yeah, it's angry's ugly cousin. There you are. There you have it. Stay toxic. to tap into her wisdom, to distill a teaching from the fragmented memory of a dream or a subtle feeling that's experienced in this deep moment, requires that you walk with her gait, not this fast-paced, forward-moving canter of your conscious and intellectual mind demanding. Do you know how exhausting it is spiritually to always explain yourself? The truth wants to be discovered. It doesn't have to explain itself if it's actually discovered, okay? The truth doesn't mind being questioned. What it minds is being interrogated, right? You're interrogating the truth to break down the truth so you can find a way to get in there, right? That's winning. That's ego. That's not, I'm going to punch you in your fucking forehead. You got a little red dot there? Good, I'll punch you in it. Good, I'll punch you in it. Shiva, activated. Pachoo! It's just like that. Destroyer. Pavarti can pull on Shiva's fucking shield. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's the protection they offer each other in individual leadership. Absolutely. You mean I've learned through my masculine trait how to be like this? What? To protect myself? What? Let me lead by example. You will either learn this higher masculine trait through the feminine, because that's what the queens did, was they raised kings, right? That's what the high priestesses did. They raised kings, right? You will either learn this or you're going to, learn from the whippings of it. The woe of it. The woe of it. Her gait is more meandering. It's unstudied. It's chaos. It's unpredictable. It's unknown. It's Go ahead. Scary in there. And you should feel inspiration in this moment to become empowered, right? To take on new leadership roles, right? You shouldn't be intimidated and asking me to make up for you being intimidated and playing victim of me intimidating you. I didn't intimidate you. You're intimidated. That's not the same thing. Because if I was intimidating you, I would be doing something to intentionally make you feel small, to intentionally break you down, to intentionally and all out. You will know I'm intentionally doing it because, bitch, I have no shame. It's unstudied. It's unstudied. Like, how else do you say that? It's unstudied, which means I go into it to study it, to discover it. I'm not studying something before I go into it. Science even is discovering through the act of doing something, not through, I need it to give me all this reassurance before I actually try it. No, they're trying and getting the answers from trying. They're trying and getting the solutions through the problems from trying. Problems come up when you try, and you get the solutions from the problems in the act of trying. That's teaching what you're fucking learning, implementing what you're learning. Hello, how hard is that? It's really hard. Exactly. That's why the weak-ass motherfuckers don't do it. Can you distinguish a coward from a non-coward? I mean, I can. Because the cowards, they usually try to act all tough and fucking hard, and they crumble really quick, actually. One emotion and they're fucking gone. One unliked emotion and they are gone. They are annihilated. And they're retaliating on the fact that they just lost the battle in their fucking whatever field they were in. That rain flooded them out of their game. That rain flooded them out of their game, so there's no winning. That's funny. funny shit. I don't care who you are. That's funny. That cracks me up. Oh, my soul. That's funny. That's happiness. That's true happiness. I told you I come alive in the art of dying. Stay toxic. Stay toxic. All right. You mean unstudied? Yeah. She's in deep concentration to feel for the truth. Excuse me here. These words and this behavior is not lining up with the notes, okay? We out of harmony here. I feel this shit. You are not singing the right song, sir, ma'am, it, them, this, that, whatever the fuck you are. Make up your mind what you are. Like, She's feeling for movement, to allow for what is emerging to express itself through her. She is listening rather than demanding to know, to force, to speak, or direct. Oh, that's that passive action. So you're gonna berate me because I'm not in this active action, and then you're gonna berate me when I am in this masculine energy. Interesting. Is there any part of myself, right, that's not in the control of others that's going to be worthy of someone else? I don't care if there is or there isn't. How about that? Because I'm worthy without you, bitch. I'm gold. It's not my fault that you don't know how to see it and can't fucking hold it. Not my fault you burning the fire. Not my fault. And even if it is, I don't take it back. I take full accountability, and I will continue to uphold that honor. Okay? All right, good talk. Stay toxic. To receive this genius and benefit most fully from it requires a willingness to surrender logic. The willingness to surrender logic. To open up to inspiration, to become empty, to let the mind soften, to become receptive, open, and permeable. Acceptance means that loss is seen as an investment. It's an investment. She delivers questions that lead to answers. I'm going to question your morals. I'm going to question your ethics. I'm going to question your sincerity. I'm going to question your genuine ass. I'm going to question your integrity, and I'm going to question your logic. I'm going to question all of it, but it's not going to be through words. It's going to be through actions, because I'm going to go directly through you. Directly through you, and it's going to lead to answers. Why? Because it triggers you like a motherfucker. That's why. And I'm going to see how we work through these triggers, because triggers will always exist. And you're not going to demonize me and enslave me and think that I'm not going to live without my triggers, honey. No, that's not happening. Nope. These lead to answers, but not according to the demands that are issued by the insecure and fearful mind. The demands of the insecure and fearful mind. No. She offers what is genuinely needed. And it's not always wanted or even liked, but it is needed. It answers the deepest questions of the heart, and she is trustworthy, this sister. She cannot betray the truth, therefore she can be relied upon as a faithful way shower of the way. Of the heart. To commune with her, wise as that impulse is, right, requires that you learn the ways of her world and the strange symbolic language she speaks. Oh, it means you actually got to come in here and discover me, right? Through my whole experience without making me explain shit to you, reassure you, blase, blase, blase. You're such a curious fucking student. You discover it all on your own. And in that, you also discover my needs. And in that, you recognize the need to fulfill that, right? And in that, both needs are fulfilled. Wow, I didn't have to tell you shit. You figured it out for yourself. Jump and shout, we figured it out. You stop trying to fucking dictate my role, and you would be more aware of your own fucking role. I don't try to dictate your role, but I do uphold it when you fail me. Masculines, feminines, That's from the masculines to the feminines and from the feminines to the masculines. Because we are all, right, equally susceptible to the doubt of self. And equally at fault and accountable for planting doubt of others in themselves, because we see the good in them when they're acting in the bad. So we try to convince them, sway them, alter them, bully them into being something that they're not. Or maybe what they are is good for them in this time, in this moment, what it is. And it's not for you to make sense of. It's for you to deliver the message that you feel called to deliver, right? Which is not to judge them on where they're at and give them advice based off of your judgment. It's to share your story, your own self, your own story, which has nothing to fucking do with them, your own feeling, your own experience, and let the pieces fall where they fucking may. Amen. Hallelujah. Hell yeah. Fucking lie to me, and I'm not gonna fucking lie to you. I certainly won't fucking lie to you for likes, and I certainly won't fucking lie to you for fucking rewards or fucking appraisals or to be fucking married or to be this or to be that or have my bills paid. Bitch, fuck you. I'll live in my car on a beach next to the fucking ocean. Yeah, fuck you. That's what I'll say to you and everybody else. Fuck you. That's why she can't betray the truth. There's a big old fuck you clause in that. Stay toxic. If that's what it is to be the truth, then stay fucking toxic, because people find the truth toxic, but literally roll themselves around and pride themselves in fucking lies. While comparing the truth to lies, they're not comparable. They are not comparable. She will never tell you what you already know and validate you. No. Why would we be so inefficient? I'm going to tell you something you don't know. Don't assume, like, if you assume you know, hey, I'm about to show you different. Way shower of the way. She prefers to educate, to intrigue, to beguile. And as you are drawn into this far more beautiful, powerful, helpful truth, she, in her world and in her language, you must suspend your need to immediately make sense of. It's not going to be in the direct perception. It's going to be in the reflection of something, which is usually in the implementing of the lesson. And recalling. Most people are recalling to make themselves look better, which is actually making themselves a victim. I don't want to look better. I want to look what really fucking happened. I don't need to look better. I don't need to look worse. I am not ashamed. And I'm not going to be coerced into shame. I'll set myself on fire. For real, for real, for real. Let yourself absorb the imaginary, the feelings, the possibilities, to dwell, to ponder, to be permeated by wisdom. The appearance of a horse may signify your own spiritual being, or the appearance of you may signify a false sense of identity. The not real you at all, the not real you at all. You may see desert landscapes and moonlit nights in your dreams. When so much growth is happening, you'll soon bloom like the springtime. Whoa, these rewards. You may dream of charging up hills with great energy when in the physical world you can barely muster enough strength to get out of bed in the morning. You're winning these mental and emotional battles, but physically it's drained you. It's robbed you of your energy in this world. And what does this all mean? The apparent contrary, world upside down, nothing is as it seems symbolism. That's that symbolism of I can be both, right? Because I abolished the duality, which is the division of myself. I sacrificed it consciously. I knew what I was sacrificing, why I was sacrificing it. I didn't know what would come of it, right? I just knew what I was letting go of, which was the investment of whatever is to come, which is that openness. What is the meaning of this symbolism? The meaning is communication, and communication is received in repose, in reflection, in quietness, and in trust. Trust. That's the only way. Trust yourself, and in that you can trust her. And when something needs to be known, oh, it shall be known. This is necessary, so much less than what we expect. Your lack of knowing is not ignorance. Your unknowingness is your bowing to life with trust to learn it, which is intelligent. She has come to you through an oracle to remind you that everything is all right. She has your back. I'll walk into the enemy's camp and have their back. You fucking ain't right. It's not codependent on them having my back. As a matter of fact, I don't want them to have my back. Cause we all know that they would just take me over. So no, I'll just, nope. No matter what the appearances may seem to your more limited dog's eye consciousness in the light of day, she is guiding you with a wider knowledge through circumstances, situations, environments that are ultimately going to free you to a greater love than you have ever known. No matter whether you feel like a rat in a maze or a bewildered drunk stumbling through the labyrinth, back alleyways, trying to find your way home again, no matter how out of control life may seem, she's letting you know all is proceeding just as it should, and her will shall manifest. There's that manifestation of this beauty. Look at this. And it shall, because her will is nature. Her will is nature. It is growth. It is God. She is God in you now. Remember that, and you'll realize, if you don't mind the ending before it's told in the last chapter, that everything's going to be okay. You know something deep in your bones without knowing how and without knowing why, without particular reason. You just know. This is the moon, right? The unfucking knowables, right? Like, I was thanking the moon for all the blessings I could not fucking see yet, right? Like, all the blessings I can't see with my eyes yet, that I'll receive in repose and trust. Oh my God. Her will is your wholeness, your oneness, your wholeness, your marriage with yourself, your completion. And her will must manifest and shall. It is nature. The oracle comes with a particular guidance. You know something. It may be that you know to avoid certain environments, certain situations. It may be that something is going to work out beautifully despite the appearance to the contrary at this particular moment. It may mean that you are meant to take a certain path. You just know. And this oracle is a confirmation that you're knowing, mysterious as your sacred soul sister, talking through you, talking through you, talking through you. Trust it and act, or not, accordingly. We should be sharing our wills, exposed, free, expressed. We should not be imposing our will on others. We say we want reality, we want a real relationship, we want truth, but we do all the things that we can do to block and prevent the truth from actually taking place. Where is your role in your own disharmony, right? And in the disharmony of others. What is your role, right? Because you're complaining about this person being crazy, blah, 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 right? Like they're the bad guy. Or maybe they are. It does, but you need to look at it with honesty. You need to bring up your role in it too, because you're their experience, right? And you need to open up to the whole truth. This is so you can be whole. This is so you can be whole, so it can be complete. So it can be complete. Completion, man. Like, complete your task, a decision. Judgment day, man. Like when you go to make offers, there should have already been a decision made. Like when you come to make an offer, you have your fucking decision, and every fucking thought and emotion is fucking invested in that and supporting that, right? That way when you come, you're coming correct and you're coming whole. You're not coming half-assed. You're not showing up half-assed and expecting to be praised for that. I'm not going to praise you for that. That's ridiculous. Let me just pretend to be something I'm not and let you be attracted to me, right? Like, and then I'm going to stay pretending to be something I'm not. So you can fall madly in love with something I'm not. Or you can be mad at me for refusing to comply with your will and refusing to become something I'm not in order for you to love me. You better hate me for saving your fucking life, bitch. Love isn't for the weak. It's for the strong that are considered weak. They're the ones that create it. That keep it going, right? That transcend it. I love you and have a beautiful day.